Now we've worked on using a bone deformer where everything was straight and on one layer, like with the tail. And we've also worked on things where they're bent, but on multiple layers, like the arms. What we're going to do now is work on something that's on the same layer and it's bent, but we're also going to add in something with a separate layer. And that's going to be the legs. So I'm going to solo out the robot leg, and we have the thigh as well as the calf. So I also want to go ahead and make sure I'm showing my robot foot. And now I'll go to my rigging tool and I'll click once. And let's make sure the leg is selected. And I'll click once at the hip. Then pretty much once right at where this joint is. Come down to the foot and then click the bone for the foot. Now, what I want to do at this point is I'm going to make the articulator for this one pretty large. And I'll come down to the foot and I'll make that one pretty large as well. They're almost touching. I think I'm going to make this a little bit larger. And I'll go ahead and change the name here. This will be the robo leg bone. And I want to go ahead and make sure that the foot is part of that bone hierarchy. So now we'll go to the transform tool and see if this is going to work. So I'm going to click once in my camera view to deselect everything. And actually that looks pretty decent. So we've got a little bit of movement right here, but actually that kind of works out for what we're doing. And of course I can rotate the entire leg. Let's do Command Z. And last but not least, the foot's moving about where we need it to go. Okay, so that looks pretty decent. And we'll go ahead and collapse that leg. Let's go ahead and unsolo everything first. And we'll solo the back leg. Now, this one is actually all one solid drawing. So we'll select the back leg layer, go to our rigging, and this is showing the old rig for our robo leg. So I'll turn that off simply by clicking on Show Selected Deformations Only. So we'll do the hip, come down right here and do pretty much the knee, ankle, and then the foot. So I'm going to stretch out our articulator just a little bit here. And this is a little bit different than our robo leg, so this might take a little trial and error. So we'll go to Transform. All right, that's not too bad. And the foot looks pretty decent. And last but not least, we'll call this the leg bone. Make sure we turn off our solo, and now we can collapse it. So remember, when you're working with your deformations, whether it's on a single layer or dual layers, you want to play backward and forward with your rigging tool and your transform tool to make sure your articulators are only deforming what you want to have deformed.